to watch the walkers. Sometimes it appears as if someone shot a gun and a bunch of ducks go off on a strong walk, but it's a very serious and a very difficult event, 20 kilometers today, and it's especially interesting because the Italians have been waiting for this Sunday of the World Championships because Marizio Damilano, his twin brother, also a walker, is his coach. He is considered to be the favorite in this event. And they're ready with their flags and they're ready for their voices, and they'll be following the action on the television screens in the stadium as the walkers leave, and they'll be ready to cheer should their countrymen come in first hour or so from now. Now let's go to Charlie Jones.
Marizio Damilano is on everybody's lips in the stadium, Dick, just as you pointed out, from Italy, and is the favorite, and they're just waiting to cheer throughout this whole race.
I think his main competition will probably come from Ernesto Canto from Mexico. The Mexicans have a very strong walking tradition, as do the Italians. The Italians have always done very well.
Canto, of course, the 1984 Olympic champion, and he is the world record holder.
And Damilano is the 1980 Olympic champion. So you have the 80 Olympic champion and the 84 Olympic champion. 693 on the inside is Ernesto Canto taking the early lead, and Carlos Mercenario, his teammate, on his right.
And he is number 699. A very technical, but yet a very subjective event in the world of track and field.
I'm not sure which takes precedence here, the technique or the judging. I sometimes think the judging is the harder part of the event, because the athletes are supposed to have one foot on the ground at all time, and the rear leg, as it comes back, has to straighten out. It is very, very difficult to judge, and it's very subjective.
And as we swing back behind the co-leaders, Mostovik of the Soviet Union, Kostadinova of the Soviet Union is there. Fesler is one of them. Blazik of Czechoslovakia is a Marin of Spain. We expect to see him up near the front. He's back closer to the middle of the pack right now.
And in sixth place, the man in the all-white is Marizio Damilano from Italy, so he's well placed right up in the front. The two Mexican walkers in front, Canto and Mercenario, they would train together. The whole Mexican team tends to live together for extended periods of time around Mexico City. They train at altitude. They have a whole really stable of very good walkers.
Can you relate this event to the distance running of the marathon, of setting the early pace of where you want to be, of your strategy? Is it the same kind of a mind game?
I think it is, but this 20-kilometer walk is more of a sprint for these athletes. The 50-kilometer walk is really the endurance event. Believe it or not, they will be out there for about an hour and 20 minutes approximately, and for them, this is really their sprint event. So doling out your energy is very important, but you really have to go pretty much all out for the whole distance in this event. Just a little bit about the judging. The judges, there are 3 judges who can disqualify an athlete. You can get a warning from any one judge. They hold up a white card and it says you have a warning. Then if 3 judges decide together that you are indeed off the ground, then they can disqualify you. They go to the head judge takes you off. But in order to try to make it a little more fair, you have to have a judge from a different country. 3 different judges from 3 different countries have to decide an athlete's out, because it is very subjective. It's very difficult to judge.
When they go outside of the stadium, it's a different kind of a course that they run than the marathoners.
They will go outside the stadium and then run 6 laps around a 2,500-meter course, come back.
Oh, Damilano, and it must be difficult for those judges. He won the gold in Moscow in '80 in this event when the 2 men in front of him were disqualified, so that could be part of the story. Marizio Damilano, the 20-kilometer walk. The Italians are looking for their hero. Let's go to the Olympic Stadium.
Damilano has been out in the front. You can't really see from here, but they're early on in the walk. Damilano has been in the front, but really pushing the pace so far has been Viktor Mostovik from the Soviet Union. Again, a very good walker. At this stage in the competition, it's sometimes difficult to tell, because in the walk, since they're going relatively slower, the packs tend to stay together for longer, but they go along at 6:20, 6:30, 6:40 per mile pace, which means they're really moving along much faster than you get in perspective from this long lens. And here they come around the corner. Those are the 2 Mexicans still leading, with Damilano in 3rd place. Canto and Mercenario first and second with Damilano right behind.
This type of a format, the way that the course is laid out, an advantage or a disadvantage from the walker's standpoint, going out and back and constantly seeing the other runners, the other walkers. Excuse me for letting that slip, because some of them do run, and if they're caught, they're disqualified.
I think it's an advantage, and it's just tradition. That's what they do. They go out and they walk loops, probably because they don't really want hills. Traditionally, the walks have always been very flat races, and so they'll find a flat section near the stadium and go on it.
Advantage for the Mexicans to continue to lead.
It's an advantage because they can pull each other along. Now, they're walking very well. They're fairly well along in the competition here now. I think they've been out. They're about 2/3 of the way through. Damilano, you can see him cutting the tangent, really walking a little smarter than the Mexicans. It's Canto in front, pushing the pace, and he is the better of the two.
And there's a lot of teamwork in this event from all countries.
There is, in pulling each other along, and I think with the rhythm, because again, you're trying not to lift off the ground, and I think in the walk, if you can fall into a teammate's rhythm, you're more likely to be able to keep one foot on the ground at all times. And they're pressing, they're trying to break away.
Now, in a marathon, within the pack, there's conversation going on, particularly during the first...
They have just pulled Canto out of the competition, which means 3 judges from 3 different countries have decided he's been off the ground. They've gone to the head judge. He's already had a warning, probably, that we didn't see, and they just pulled him off, and he's saying, why here? This doesn't happen at home.
And one of the controversy involving the walking event is the disqualifications, and it always seems as if it's one of the leaders that's disqualified.
And here we have 2 people from Mexico giving an Italian a hard time, the Mexican disqualified.
Thank you, Dwight. And this, of course, the conclusion of the 20-kilometer walk.
Marizio Damilano pulled away in the last third of the race, and the second Mexican was also disqualified, so it made it a bit easier on him. The Italian comes home. They were singing to him as they saw him come in on the screen. They were singing, whoa, whoa, bringing him home, and he just had an easy time the last third of the race, and he's going to walk a little bit over 1 hour and 20 minutes.
So Marizio Damilano of Italy and all of Rome is celebrating. Let's listen. And finishing second for the silver medal, Jozef Pribilinec of Czechoslovakia. So there you have the gold and the silver, and the celebration continues.
Charlie, I think the Italians were hungry. There's José Marín from Spain finishing third. And the real cheer,
bronze medal. Go ahead.
And the real cheer you hear is for Carlo Mattioliita from Italy, walking a personal record, coming in 4th place.
This is
Mostovik.
Mostovik of the Soviet Union is 4th, and they wait for Mattioliita, who is behind him in 5th place. $65,000 here yesterday, over 60,000 today here at Olympic Stadium. And the flags are out, and the celebration has been going on for the last 20 minutes. And there is Mattioliita of Italy joining his teammate Damilano, who finished 1st. Mattioliita comes in 5th.
I think the Italians were very hungry for a gold medal. Yesterday, they had a second in the 10,000 meters, a second in the shot put. Both men really favored to win, or among the favorites, but there was disappointment. Now they have their first gold medal of the World Championships.
The celebration continues in Olympic Stadium.
So Damilano wins the first gold for the Italians. Jozef Pribilinec of Czechoslovakia second, and José Marín of Spain was third. Damilano from a little small 500 populated town in northern Italy. His dad, the former mayor. You can bet they're celebrating in the north of Italy tonight.